Hey, this is a review of how to install mods for the game Vampire. The first thing we're going to do is obviously install the game. And now I've renamed the install and called it no mod. I'm now going to copy this install directory and make an additional copy of it. Now that that's done, I'm going to rename the copied directory to the name of the mod that I'm going to install, and this mod is called The Final Night, or Final Nights. So go rename it to Vampire Bloodlines The Final Nights. Yes. So now we have a new directory to install this mod into. That is just a original install of the game straight off the disk with no mods on it. I'm now installing The Final Nights. I must make sure that I point it to the directory that I've just created and renamed called The Final Nights, and not try to install it over top of any other mods that I have. So select the folder, push OK, and install it. Some time passes. Okay, when the install is finished, I'm going to go into that directory, go to the Vampire exe, and make a shortcut for it on my desktop. Create shortcut here. I'm going to rename that shortcut The Final Night. Now all I have to do is double click on that shortcut to run this mod version of Vampire that I've just installed. So as you can see, now I have 3 different versions installed. I have updated to 8.2, I have The Final Night, and I have Clan Wars. Next thing we need to do is go into Control Panel for your video card's control panel. So find the game and pump everything you can up to the highest you can, and this will make the game look not like an 8-year-old game, which it is. So the most important things to increase are your anti-lacing. The next thing to do is find the resolution patcher, which is in the subdirectory tools. Run it as administrator or it won't work. Point it to the right directory, the one you're trying to fix, and patch it to 16 by 9 if that is indeed your screen's resolution. Okay, so the first one I'm going to look at, of course, is Unofficial 8.2. What Unofficial 8.2 does is it tries to stay in the main groove of the game. They've tried to update the game as the game makers would have updated it if they continued to do it themselves. It doesn't go off on any tangents, just tries to improve and update the official game itself. So yeah, 8.2 is much like your original Bloodlines, but they've gone through and found extra lines of dialogue, and they've cleaned up some of the graphics and added more items here and there, and yeah, but you know, your characters are still basically the same. They've updated a couple of things. You can now choose a history, which will resort your stats depending on which history you choose, which is quite good. But yeah, it's still the original classes with their original spells. You still just get the 3 spells. So yeah, 8.2 is if you've never played the game before, I definitely recommend 8.2. install the game and update to unofficial 8.2 and play the story through once or twice with a couple of different characters. After that, the first total conversion mod I'm going to have a look at is called Clan Quest. What they've done here is gone and totally changed some of the mechanics of the game. Things like there's a blood loss over time system with this. Also what they've done is changed some of the models. You'll see that with some of them they've changed the clothing, and with others, like a female Toreador, they've changed the model completely. So yeah, it's quite fun to play through as a Barbie doll looking character, watching her shake all over the place. Also, if you choose Decadent Enchantress, you get extra points in appearance and subterfuge, which is quite interesting if you're looking at alternatives. Once you've played the game through a couple of times, you start to look for alternative ways to solve your missions and quests, and if you use a character that has a lot of subterfuge and appearance points, explain here, you start getting extra lines of dialogue and different ways to solve your quests and missions. Also, what Clan Quest adds is Blood Heal. In Clan Quest you will not gain health back over time, but you will lose blood over time, so you have to feed a lot more in Clan Quest. Okay, now we have Vampire the Final Nights expansion. In this interesting mod, they have given us new races to play with. They look quite fun. You've got a few different histories to choose from as well. Change your stats around. What else do we have? There's like 7 new races here to play. This looks really interesting. The Samedi bloodline have a relatively short but very curious history with kindred society. Originating most likely from the Caribbean, the bloodline members all seem to resemble a zombie or a corpse. Unlike a Nosferatu, who merely become disfigured, the body of the Samedi appear to be in constant state of decay. So they're like rotting from the inside out, falling apart. I haven't tried playing a Nosferatu or playing this race yet, but I imagine it would be very difficult. You can't walk around on the open streets. You have to navigate your way through the sewers, find back entrances to everything. So just being seen by a mortal is a Masquerade violation, and you lose one of these up here. Once you've lost all 5 of those masks, you can only be discovered by humans 5 times, and then the other vampires come and kill you. Which probably isn't very pretty death, so it would be extremely difficult to play the game with one of these characters, and I may do that in a later video to see how it goes. And the #1 mod for Vampire the Masquerade is called the Raving Malkavian, and it can be added to 8.2, and it pretty much removes the underwear from the female Malkavian model. For this video, I don't want it flagged, so I'm not going to spin her around like this and flip her dress up so that you can see it, but I have created another video called No Panties. You can go and check out what's under that skirt if you are so inclined. I hope you enjoyed this review, and yeah, I'll chuck a little bit of gameplay in here and there. So this is one of the final boss fights. Burn her face off with a flamethrower. Ouch. I'm sure I didn't deserve that, did I? Yeah.